track. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we have our guest with us, Lewis Barnett. He's an Australian actor and a long-time Skin V5 user. And today he is going to share his story about overcoming teenage acne and pursuing a acting career. And he's an upcoming actor. And recently he's been in the Netflix movie Danger Close, starring alongside a very famous Travis Fimmel. And all of us know him as Ragnar Lothbrok in my favorite show, Vikings. And a bit about Lewis before we bring him in. Lewis, first met him when he's 18 years old, working at a local pharmacy. And he was suffering from severe acne at the time. And one of our sales reps approached him about trying Skin V5 to help overcome his acne, and which he agreed. And as we all say, the rest is history. So let me just bring Lewis in, and here we are to see if we can see Lewis. Hi, Lewis. Welcome.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me, Judy.
We're very excited to have you. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Judy Cheung-Wood, founder of Skin V5. I'm very passionate about helping others overcoming acne because I've been there. I used to suffer from acne, and I tried everything under the sun. Nothing actually worked until I come across a medical paper about vitamin B5 for skin problems and acne. After I read the biochemistry of vitamin B5, I was immediately convinced and decided to try it on myself. And I started doing a lot of research and bringing in a lot of other nutrients that have shown very promising results for acne. And I used myself as a guinea pig, and worked amazingly well for me. 2 months later, my skin completely cleared up. So that's a little bit about me. And as I said, I'm very passionate about helping others. And part of that is sharing stories of our Skin V5 users. So Lewis, we have Lewis here today with us. I guess, I've said a few things about you, and most of the time I love hearing straight from yourself who you are and what you've been up to. And obviously you're in the movie industry. The recent COVID has a huge impact on the movie industry, so must not be easy for you.
Yeah, no, it's been a pretty challenging time, I think, for many of the people in the entertainment industry in general, whether it was theatre or film or TV. Pretty much all of the productions stopped because they need, 10 plus, in movie sets, 30 plus, 50 plus, even 100 plus people on set at one time. So therefore, they can't work in those close proximities with those COVID restrictions. Now we're getting back to a bit of a more of a norm, which is great. But there was a long time, throughout that period. So it's where my partner and I started up Respiro Channel, which is our online yoga channel, which we offer some free content on YouTube, and also hoping to launch our business probably next year. So keeping productive in whatever time we had.
Hey, keep it positive. Life goes on, so we have to build something and live a meaningful life. So
Totally.
I hope you don't mind if you start asking you some of the questions that a lot of our audience would love to know. How did skin problem affected your confidence? Because when we met you, one of the things that we found out about you was you're obviously very, very much into performing. You love performing in high school productions, and obviously having skin problems really affected your confidence.
Yeah. Well, even before Skin B5, I actually, to be honest, wasn't really even thinking about pursuing acting because many people had said, well, first you must clear your skin before you get on the big screen and pretty much show your face, So for me, until that point of understanding what was actually going on with my skin and being able to deal with it, and then seeing some results with Skin B5, that's when I had the confidence to step up on stage during that high school musical, which was Hairspray.
Wow.
Forever grateful for that show because it really gave me a great platform to jump off. It was incredible, the whole theatrical experience.
Yeah.
And then pretty much from there on studied and continued. But particularly in film, I think anything close up prior to even like last year, I would have been very conscious about what they were seeing on the camera, because of my skin and how it looked.
Especially nowadays, with all the high definition,
Yes. The cameras get very good.
Yeah. So, how is your relationship now with your skin?
I love my skin, Judy, because there were many years, particularly throughout school, that I wouldn't say I was aggressively bullied, but there was definitely a lot of psychological bullying, I guess you might say, people questioning my skin and, have you tried this? And it just didn't feel good for me. And so throughout that period, it was very challenging, but now I've been able to understand my skin a lot better and actually see results and realize, it is so much about what I put inside. That's what shows on the outside. So,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, through my practice now of yoga and eating really healthily, of course, Skin B5 as well. I started on the tablets and then, slowly not really having as many now. I mean, I've been using Skin B5 for almost 6 years. So, I did start with a very controlled dose of tablets and then slowly, have had less and less of those and just use and love the mask, the moisturizer and the cleanser. They're my 3 favorite products that I always go to. So.
Yeah, having great skin, I guess it's a kind of freedom. I still remember when I
Absolutely.
constantly having breakouts, every morning before I go to work, you're just so stressed about, people going to talk to me, I'm going to meetings and
Right.
I've got this huge pimple and you can't worry about the skin. And one of the first thing I notice when my skin is consistently clear is I started to stop thinking about my skin. And,
Yeah.
and you can, as you know, like it's all about holistic and, and then you have, I guess, once you're not stressing about your skin, you can start thinking about your own health and, how you want to live your life and that sort of thing.
Totally. Yeah. And like what you said, it's one less stress. There's so many other things that often stress people out, whether it's even just getting to school or work on time or, what you have to get done, that you shouldn't have to worry about your skin as well.
Yeah, it makes things worse. You're breaking out more.
Right. Yeah. Increased stress and growth. Increased stress. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I already, talked briefly about how you discovered Skin V5 is really through Lisa, talking to you about
Yeah.
Skin V5. So before that, I guess, did you try a lot of other products before you discover Skin V5?
Yeah, I did. Many, to be honest, and a lot of topical treatments that were extremely expensive because we thought that was going to be the best solution. But like what Skin B5 said, it does start within, and that's what I had to change. I had to cut back on the food that I was eating, like sugary things, and I cut back on wheat. I cut out dairy, and it was really challenging, particularly at the beginning. Because these are some of the things that I really enjoyed eating and that my family were eating as well. So for me, I changed to, almond milk, more wraps instead of bread. And these kind of choices I also found helped with the progress. What was the second part of the question?
Oh, have you tried many other
Oh,
products?
other products, yes. So yeah, many facials and these kind of things to try and exfoliate the skin and strip back the oils, and proactive, all of those kind of things. Which proactive bleach my towels, and
Sounds like
I really looked at my towels one day and I was like, oh, this is probably not right for my skin, and it actually inflamed some of the acne even more. Which, yeah, as soon as I saw those results, I just cut that out. So
but I guess
I
not your fault because I've been through the exact same thing because you actually conditioned and you've been told, your whole life, if you have acne, this is what the first thing you should do is use this, use acid and use this. So we actually don't know a better way.
Right.
I haven't discovered, that medical paper. I was actually, it was eye-opening because that was for the first time from everything that I read, tried to help my own skin. As anyone mentioned, using vitamin can overcome a very complex skin problem because everything else and everyone else tell you, you're just not using the right skincare. Oh, you
But
just, you're oily, all that stuff. It's just genetics.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
which is interesting because I think it comes back to, for me in a big way, the habits, and the habits can come from family or friends, of eating in a certain way, which then can impact for generations that skin breakout. But it's definitely one of the controllables that I realized, I could control.
so then how long have you been using Skin B5 and and I guess you already briefly mentioned because I think I mentioned we met you when you're 19, and obviously as normally don't like asking people how old they are.
I think actually 18 even, or maybe 17. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, 17, 18, you're quite young then.
Yeah, it was.
You're still young.
I think the end of, yeah, thank you, Judy. I think it was the end of year 11 for me, which I was about 17, well, maybe even 16. But anyway, that was when I was first introduced to Skin B5. And it was only through a colleague of mine that who I was working with at the pharmacy, who really said, like, try this. It's all natural. It's, this and this and this. And I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. Tried many other products. Why not try this one?
I know.
So I tried it and I started to, be a little bit lazy with it in the beginning. But then once I got to a proper structure, that's when I saw change happen. And I think that's really important, is that you need to find that, structure of having the tablets, doing the mask at least once or twice a week, cleansing your face, twice a week, morning and night, and applying the right moisturizer that's not going to be too oily. And that's exactly what I did for many months. And over the time, it didn't change straight away, but slowly and steadily, just like a scar. I had many skateboarding accidents when I was a kid, and these scars, on my arms, you can still see some of them, but, it doesn't happen where your skin just will heal overnight with any magic, no matter what anyone tells you. So it's definitely progressive. Yeah.
Time heals. That's what they all say, and that's
Time
to everything in life, as I would say. So, this is the more, I guess, this question that I have for you. How has Skin B5 changed your lives? Because, I still get very emotional and still get me the goosebumps when I would get from customers that, obviously I feel very humbled when they tell me your products changed my life. But I guess, I want to hear from you. How has it actually, changed your life?
In so many ways. Like, I think a big thing is confidence in all aspects of life, whether it's relationship or work or just being social with your friends and family. I feel like Skin B5 gave me that confidence back. And I'm sure people have probably heard it many times, but it really is, for people who are suffering acne, it's very difficult to be out and social because you'll just see people looking at your face and thinking that they're judging you, even if they're not. So once you're able to overcome these kind of things and start to see progress, that's when I realized that I was able to do so much more and not be criticized about my skin, and feel comfortable up on stage, and then eventually, over the months and years, feel comfortable on screen as well, seeing my face on the TV or film, whatever it might have been. So in so many areas, Judy, Skin B5 has been a big help to my confidence and just mental health.
Yeah, we feel very humbled. I'm glad you mentioned mental health because I think obviously you've been there and you understand. And I think quite often people around, obviously, you know, your closest one, they can see that you struggling mentally when you have very bad skin. But I think the severity of the psychological impact, it actually doesn't quite hit home like until like when we read stories from our own customers and they share with us how they even hide in their own bedroom, wouldn't even see their own parents. That's when it's really heartbreaking. I think that lets people know it's truly it's about mental health. It's more than, you know, people often say, oh, acne doesn't kill you. Yeah, and yes, we know it's very common. Majority of people suffer from it, but you can never dismiss the psychological impact of it. So that's part of, I guess, my driving force of helping other people, because I understand that I guess that scarring effect on your mental psyche. So for those, just for people who don't know
And what a
what,
purpose to have, might I add. I think that's an
I love
incredible
it. It keeps me going
purpose.
every day, but you know, even things get really difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
And for those people who don't know what Skin V5 really is, so you know, can you maybe in your words, how do you think Skin V5 differs from other acne products that you've tried?
Well, I actually have some of the products here. So, I mean, the tablets, first of all, you can crush those up and you can put it into your breakfast. If you don't like taking tablets, it's very accessible for you to do that. Also, the superfood powder, I love to add that into my smoothies and just into any of you know, the liquid things that I'll eat or drink throughout the day. This cleansing moisturizer, the cleanser, um, is very light. It's nothing thick and creamy like that smells good, but it's what my skin really needed just to feel fresh, remove and detoxify the skin. The moisturizer is the best that I've come across. Really, in terms of not feeling like my skin is oily after. That was a big thing that I was looking for. So the moisturizer is still the best that I've ever found. And the mask is my favorite. I apply the mask, you know, probably once at least a week, sometimes twice. Particularly for guys, after shaving, it can help to calm down the skin. You know, because after you've been going over it with a razor, sometimes it can feel a little sensitive. That can, well, I feel like it cools my skin, and then after I wash it off, it's nice and smooth. So
Yeah, it does
yeah.
actually help cool the skin. My 6-year-old, whenever she's got a little bit of skin irritation being out from the garden, she comes and complains to me, and the first thing I tell her to do is actually put some Skin B5 moisturizer on, because it's got aloe vera and vitamin B5, all those as anti-irritation stuff. So you know, you know, obviously the mask is full of highly anti-inflammatory and soothing
Yeah.
properties. So yeah, obviously you're not. Do you actually use makeup when you go on film?
Yeah, so on film, that's actually sometimes when my acne is sometimes the worst, you know, because of the makeup that's used. So as soon as I come back home or on set, if I have to stay there, then I'll take the cleanser and also the mask to apply it. So the cleanser obviously gets all of the makeup off, and then the mask will help to kind of remove anything else.
So I was going to have you actually tried one of our beauty hack is to use our mask to mix it a little bit with liquid foundation, and when you apply on your skin, we've actually had a YouTube tutorial on it. Have you actually tried that trick?
Oh, I haven't.
Oh,
No.
you love it. I use it whenever I don't use a lot. I don't use foundation much at all. Like maybe, you know, for example, today, then I would, and when I go on trainings, store people overseas and meeting, kind of doing the meet and greet sort of tour things, I would have to put on, you know, foundation. That's the secret trick I use. It comes from a makeup
Nice.
artist in Singapore. Have a look at the tutorial and try it, because what it does is the mask mix up with your liquid foundation. Not only it makes the makeup actually stay very close to your skin, and you don't need to powder that much, but it absorbs the oil and impurities at the same time. And what it does is also preventing the antibacterial properties in the mask actually helps stop you from breaking out. So
For sure.
try it,
Yeah.
Louis.
Yeah, I'll
That's
take it.
amazing.
Give it
I've
to
never
the
spoken to you
massage.
about it because I wasn't sure, whether or not you wear makeup at all. Now we know.
Yeah,
So
I mean, on film sets, it's a pretty common thing in stage as well. At stage in particular, it's usually quite thick makeup because it needs to be seen from the back of the room, how big your eyebrows are. But
yeah, I made a mistake. I'll tell you a funny thing. There's one time I was answering a customer question, and I just, sometimes you look at people's name, you don't not sure whether it's male or female, which gender, and I
yeah,
just suggested using the mask, and obviously it's a guy, and said I don't wear makeup at all, so so that doesn't apply
yeah.
to me. Anyway, so my next question for you. So what sort of advice do you have now looking back would you give to people suffering from acne?
What a question. There's so many things that I've learned, over these more than 6 years of having acne, and finally being kind of on the other side of it where it doesn't affect me as much. Um, Try and find something that you really enjoy, that even you can just enjoy, whether it's yoga. For me, it was always yoga, or, at times, or meditation, that made me feel good. I'll commit to whatever product you're using. If it's Skin B5, really commit to the instructions that they give you, and make sure that you are taking the correct dosage and you are applying the cleanser appropriately, the moisturizer and the mask as well. Without that routine and structure, your skin is kind of all over the shop. The other thing that I would really urge anyone who has severe acne is to change their diet and find a nutritionist, or have a look on the Skin B5 website. I think you guys still have some
We have
things on
plenty of
it. Yeah.
material.
Which I had a look at, and I remember getting some tips from there as well. But yeah, just know that it's temporary. There is, however long it takes you. For me, it was like a 5-year journey to really get clear skin by the end of it, where there's still, I don't know if you can see bits and pieces of scarring, but for the most part, my skin is now pretty much all clear. And now that I'm on this side, I can see how much I did struggle, but it was all worth it, because now I'm a much more conscious eater, and very conscious about what goes onto my skin, and how I treat my skin, and how I sweat, whether it's going for a run or to the gym or in a yoga class, being aware to, maybe wash my face soon after, change my clothes soon after, so the bacteria just isn't sitting there for hours and creating that inflammation and the pimples. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's you're spot on, Lewis, because Skin B5 is really just a tool to help you, or get to the other side with clear skin. But ultimately, it's about that commitment to look after our own health, look after our own skin. I guess people tend to look at skin as a superficial thing, but skin is actually the largest organ in the body. So if you health, if you think about health, how important it is to when something wrong with your liver, people kind of tend to panic, but quite often people dismiss having this skin problem as just a cosmetic issue, but it's really not a cosmetic issue. It's a reflection of your health, and it really starts from having that commitment to look after your skin and look after your health, and then you can achieve it with the right tools.
Completely. And again, the phrase clear skin starts within is so true. And anything in life, like if you want something to manifest in the external world, we say in yoga, you need to, hope and wish for it internally. So begin with what is inside, take care of yourself, try and find moments of joy and things that you enjoy, and hopefully then you'll see some progress.
So because of technical difficulties, we're running a little bit behind. So why don't I bring on, there's a few questions from the audience, but I hope I'll bring in one for you to answer. And if we can't answer the other questions, we'll answer it separately through direct message. So the
Sure.
question I have here is, do you eat before you taking your tablets? By the way, Skin B5 tablets mean is not the medical tablet; it's a vitamin tablet.
Yeah. I don't take the tablets now because I took them for probably at least the first year and a half to 2 years, just because I really saw the progress with using those tablets. And when I was taking them, I would crush them and put them into a smoothie or into porridge, if it was winter. Otherwise, I would, swallow them and have some food after. Yeah. But not
Okay.
too much. Yeah. It was usually with food because for me personally, I just thought it goes down better.
Definitely. So, yeah, you're not alone. A lot of people prefer to crush up the tablets or break it in half, especially when they're younger. I guess when I started using my own formulation, Skin B5, obviously I was adult, so I can handle tablets a lot better. But yeah, younger people, when if you're using the Skin B5 vitamins, try to crush it up, or you break it in half through. There's a break bar in the middle. Yeah, so and I always take it after you eat a meal, have food in the stomach, like Lewis said, because but some people when they're not used to taking vitamins and minerals, like I can take vitamins and minerals straight, but some people need to have some food in the stomach before they take vitamins. So same apply to Skin B5. So all right, I think that's all the time we have for having you on board. And for those of you, if you're interested in trying Skin V5 or want to go to our website to get a few things or stock of a few things, we do have a code here today for 20% off. The code is just live20, so it's valid for the next 24 hours. So again, Lois, thank you so much. We're very grateful to have you, and we can't wait to see more of you in other shows. And I wish you all the best, and keep in touch, and would love to hear what other projects you're up to. So
Definitely, Judy. Yeah, I'll keep you all in touch.
yeah,
Yeah,
and for those of you who have any questions, please feel free to direct message at SkinB5, because Skin Advice, I do take on those questions myself and personally answer them, and do our best to help you. So anyways, good evening from Melbourne and Lewis in Sydney. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.